Everybody, this is Chris Greenman from Planet Bars, man. Hope everybody having a good day today, man. It's Monday. We over kicking it back at the pad, just chilling, man. But anyway, I wanted to speak on this subject because it's kind of been on my mind for a good minute. And I want to mention this particular content creator who goes by the name Ricardo Ignacio. For those who don't know who he's this dude from Sacramento, and I guess at first he was very pro indigenous, like he was one of those reconnecting indigenous people, but then over time, like his shit done went through multiple changes because one minute he's talking about indigenous people and their struggles, and then next minute now he wants to talk about black struggles, and then he'll every now and then circle back to Mexican struggles whatsoever, right? But the only reason why I brought this guy up is because lately I've seen the videos that he posted talking about uh the tensions between the black and Asian community, just relating to what happened in South Carolina with Rick Chow, where an Asian man named Rick Chow shot down this young 14-year-old kid, a black kid, and apparently the whole thing was, I guess, he was stealing water bottles or trying to steal water bottles. I'm not completely 100% sure on that, but all I know is, it ain't worth losing your life over. It ain't worth killing somebody over no water bottles, right? But anyway, um, you know, I've seen how Ricardo has reacted to this incident as of lately, and it seems like he's strengthening the tensions between black and Asians rather than trying to ease it. Especially knowing that he's not even an Asian or a black man himself. So I kind of want to ask a question to the black community: Is why do y'all think it's okay for this guy who's not even one of y'all to touch on y'all issues? Because listen, I understand what it's like to grow up with black folks, or to know some black folks, or you know what I mean. And I also understand showing solidarity with other groups and other races. There ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? If you on that black or brown shit, I'm on that shit all the way. I'm with that with everybody though too. I'm not even just thinking about just Mexicans or black people. I want to build bridges with everybody, right? But anyway, this cat, he's been kind of highlighting some of the things that some people from the Asian community are saying, and he's kind of doing to them what he's been doing to us Mexicanos, Chicanos, Latinos, whatever you call it, for years now. And he likes to throw people under the bus, and instead of acknowledging the fact this is not how all of us think, this is not how all of them think. He doesn't even do that. He just adds to it with whatever video and whatever rhetoric he says. So it's kind of funny to me that one minute, you started off being indigenous, then you start to go the pro black route, and then now, what I mean, you're not even talking about Chicanos like that. And it's like very rare you even talk about it. The only way you talk about is the whole immigrant thing. But other than that, you know what I mean? It's like you're not even representing for us, because one thing I do notice, the people that follow him and the people that come and comment on his channel is most of the time black women from other states. I'm not even sure if half of those black women are from California, or anywhere in the specific side of the United States whatsoever. So, it's kind of weird how he has a whole demographic now, when back in the day he used to have pretty much everybody come to his channel. But now, he's kind of on this black pandering thing right now, and it's kind of like not a good look, bro. Honestly, it's not a good look because you're not even. The thing is, you're inserting yourself into black issues that you have nothing to do with. And it all started with the whole colorism thing with us Latinos, right? That's one of the things you start bringing up when it comes to our culture is our colorism. And even knowing that we're not the only ones being colorist. You know what I mean? Every other community has been colorist, so has the black community too. And I'm not saying that just to shame them or nothing. I'm making the point that why you only putting that on us? Like we're the only ones being colorist, bro. You know what I mean? So, I used to really follow this cat, for a long time. And, I was liking what he was saying. Then I started to notice how he went all over the place, right? And, you know what I mean? Like he would contradict himself, every now and then. One minute he would say, Chicanos ain't indigenous, they're all trying to be white. To then, oh, but you know what? We're black, we're indigenous, so he can't make up his mind on what we are. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. Colorism is a problem in our community, but why is it only us? Why is it us only getting called out? All communities have that, so it does not make sense to me that but that they just want to come at us. You know what I mean? When in fact, what I mean, we're not even tripping on black people like you make it seem to be. Just like the Asians. I mean, come on, bro. You from Sacramento. You live like a couple hours away from me? No, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or like yeah, yeah, he lives like a couple hours north of me, bro. You know what I mean? You know how things is. People don't be tripping on each other like that. For the most part, everybody could coexist. Everybody could kick in the same room, no problem. Ain't like a motherfucker's gonna feel weird when they see a black person or Asian person. Oh, let me just step out this restaurant. No, you know what I mean. He tends to over exaggerate these things. You know what I mean, and he wants to make it a thing where it's like us Mexicans we hate everybody, the Asians hate everybody, the Middle Eastern people we hate everybody. But as soon as someone shows some type of solidarity or whatsoever, he wants to turn on around and say, oh, but you're trying to use black people. Oh, you're fetishizing, blah blah blah, whatever stupid point he tries to make. It's like make up your mind, bro. So can we love you? So do we get so one minute you're saying us Mexicans can't get along with blacks. Now now when a black person wants to get along with a Mexican or a Mexican wants to get along with a black person, now you kind of want to shame them for that too. Like make up your fucking mind, bro. So it just seems to me like this rhetoric over time started to spew a lot more hate now. You're not even trying to bring more knowledge. You're actually just trying to bring people into this whole radical view of things, man. Like, okay, let's boycott all these Asian businesses. Let's just boycott any other businesses, so they treat us better. Or let's just kick all these Asians that are in our community. When the whole issue, in my opinion, the only reason why the whole tension thing was brought up was because other people started bringing that into the situation. Because remember, we're only talking, it all stemmed from the whole Rick Chow situation with that 14-year-old kid. And my whole point is, that's a grown ass man going to chase down a young kid like I don't know how many miles away from the store. Apparently, a whole football field away from the store, and shot that kid down. That's terrible, man. Like, no kid deserves to lose their life over a fucking water bottle, and nobody should be killing people over water bottles. If that's what they're saying. I don't completely know. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that one, because I don't know all the detail. But you're not even trying to ease the tensions, brother. You're trying to strengthen the tensions. Just like how you've been doing with the black community and the Latino community for years, for a good minute now. So, My question I want to ask to the black community is, why are you allowing outsiders to insert themselves into y'all issues? You know what I mean? Why is he trying so hard to get black women to get on his channel so much? Because I even noticed too that he wants to kind of create division between black men and black women now. Now, listen, I don't want to be out here speaking on y'all issues. The only reason why I'm even bringing it up is to only reference what this cat has been doing for a long time, and no one has really called him out on anything. You know what I mean? A lot of people are either scared, or a lot of people just don't care what he has to say. But I feel like what he's doing right now is kind of playing to dangerous waters right now, because now, you know what I mean? Now you're making people more angrier, misdirecting their energy. When at the end of the day, you even said too, it's about white supremacy. It's about fighting white supremacy, fighting the Asian community, fighting the Mexican community, and definitely us fighting what the black community isn't gonna solve white supremacy. And we're, you know, that whole radical shit isn't gonna help us no more. You know what I mean? Like, I get it, man. I get that boycotting is a real thing, has been done for years. But what demands are you gonna make with it? Are you gonna boycott those businesses hoping that they will treat y'all better? Are y'all boycotting just so they can allow y'all to work there? I mean, what's the demand? Because so far there's no solution. But now it's just being overt racism at this point. And you're using like all these FBA Tariq Nasheed talking points, and the only reason why I'm even bringing that up is because I've seen some of your other content too, bro, where a lot of Africans and a lot of other people came in to warn about the division between them, and then you're kind of like uh almost downplaying that. You know what I mean? You're kind of like going towards that route where you're kind of like pushing black people to hate the Mexicans, and then pushing black people to hate the Asians. Thing is, it's funny. Most of the people that follow your channel's not even uh Latinos. I don't think no Latino even follows Ricardo's channel no more. It's all, it's only mostly black women, and maybe a little bit of black men, maybe a little bit of Mexican. You know what I mean? But majority of the time is black women, and it's kind of concerning to me because I know he will probably make the excuse, but see, the only reason why all these Latinos don't want to support me because I've been proving what they've been doing all along. They all hate black people. They all hate blah blah blah. So this dude is kind of adding more confusion to these situations instead of just be like, what can we do to stop this from happening? All he's really doing is pointing a finger at a particular community. And he already has done a video where he has responded to someone's apparently friendly to do a boycott, I guess. And all she said was, we need those Asian businesses. And the whole thing he said was that and he made that he allowed that to be an opportunity for him to bring up that whole argument about Mexicans hating black people again. That little story where he went to a Mexican restaurant with his black girlfriend, and since they was treating him weird because of who she was, he walked out that place. You know what I mean? I really don't know if half the things he's saying are true or not, as far as his own personal life and his personal experiences, because he always has this crazy victim mentality, like he's been done wrong by all these people. It's like always a sad story with this guy, and like any story that pertains to him, he paints himself as this nice guy. This nice guy. I've always been this nice Ricardo guy. I've been fighting for y'all since I was a fucking teenager or some shit. It just don't even make no sense to me. And people, and he's not the only one. There's other people, but yeah, there's a lot of other people playing into dangerous waters into this as well. And My whole thing is, what's your solution? What can we do to stop the shit instead of just being mad or misdirecting our anger towards the Asians or the Latinos or the or the Middle Eastern folks whatsoever. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Instead of directing that energy towards people who need that, we're directing toward that energy towards communities that are already hurting in those country in this country. So it's bad, man. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say, y'all. Um, everybody be safe out there. Take care and don't believe the hype, y'all. Later.